Enforcement is on Minnesota roads this month with a focus on speeding. Mike Hansen heads the State Office of Traffic Safety.
The bottom line becomes we're in the business of preventing serious injury and fatality crashes, and that's what we're going to be working very hard on during the month of July, which can be one of the deadliest months on Minnesota roads.
Hansen says speed was the largest contributing factor in fatal crashes during the 100 deadliest days last summer, Memorial Day through Labor Day. The State Patrol, Sheriff's Departments, and local police are taking part in the month-long enforcement event. Minnesota is taking part in a national impaired boating enforcement campaign.
If you make the decision to operate a boat while under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you can expect to get stopped and cited. Lieutenant Adam Block is with the DNR.
Our goal is that every person who heads out on the water returns home safely at the end of the day. If you're drinking and boating, you don't share that goal, and you're putting everybody's life at risk, including your own. In any given year in Minnesota, nearly half of all fatal boating incidents involve alcohol.
There will be extra patrols on lakes and rivers as part of Operation Dry Water, a national campaign aimed at deterring boating under the influence of drugs and alcohol.
That's reporter Susie.
Paulie Lights here out at Memory Fireworks just off I-29 at the Frontier exit in South Fargo. I'm here with Phil, and you know, Phil, every time I come out here, you know, you got your favorites that you like to do every year. We got a lot of great stuff coming back for this year, don't we?
That's absolutely right, Paul. You know, when you're coming into Memory Fireworks, you're going to look at our back wall, and you're going to see those Memory and Dakota Series multi-shots. Those are the very best that you're going to find anywhere at the very best prices. Those Memory and Dakota Series pieces are hand-picked year after year to have the very finest colored breaks, the loudest booms, and everything else you're looking for. You know, and some of my favorites are back this year. That exploding rainbow. It's 36 shots with those awesome crackling tails, long-lasting, phenomenal colored breaks. Has that 10-shot built-in finale at the end. You know, some of those smaller 200-gram cakes that people love, like the Battling Elk, all sorts of crackle, all sorts of color. Brand new this year is that Dakota Sky Dancer with tons of variety. One of my personal favorites, the Dakota Tough. 4 or 5 different effects in that piece with quality colored breaks. And all of these are going to be at phenomenal prices. And this Memory and Dakota Series items are only found at Memory Fireworks.
All right, and I'm looking around at some of the screens too, and you can see how some of these actually explode in the air, which is a very cool feature.
No, that's absolutely right. You know, when you guys are going for those nighttime displays, you want to see them before you buy them. All of our TVs have all the pieces playing, so you can see exactly what you want to buy. And you know what? If you're at home, you can go to memoryfireworks.com or even download our phone app, and that way you can go through all of the pieces we have in the store and just pick the very best ones that you want to buy.
All right, thank you so much, Phil. We are down here at Memory Fireworks, just off of I-29 South in Fargo. Take the Frontier exit, and you'll find us. Paulie Lights for the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
I appreciate getting in here and seeing rock requests waiting for us, as is tradition from the get-go. All those many years ago when we took over Afternoons Live, you send them in, we'll play them, whatever you want to hear at 35270. That's provided by the Yacht Consultants of North Dakota, our text club here. I already threw mine out yesterday, but Eric Johnson, he actually plays them. He's a producer. I'm Tyler Axness, and this is Afternoons Live. Patriotic theme. So you got to give me down, as a tradition, Real American, the Hulk Hogan theme song, and we're letting that one play throughout the day here. But you send it in, and I can already tell you somebody said you pick. We'll go with Blur over the other item that you sent in, just giving you a heads up there. But we'll do that throughout the afternoon here, as well as give you some safety reminders, tell you about some new things going on in Minnesota when it comes to what you can consume legally. Also, if you're not heading out of the metro area, Erica Rapp from Fargo-Underground.com is going to be joining us, telling you about all the downtown Fargo-Moorhead happenings, and that is brought to you by the Boiler Room, and I've got $25 and a gift card to the Boiler Room. Scott Brewer, part of that Gone Outdoors that you can check out every Saturday here on KFGO. In fact, you'll be able to do that again tomorrow as well. But he had a great reminder on Facebook going out this weekend, and I wanted him to share some of that with you as well, about being patient at the ranch. There's a lot of new people that are probably going to be out enjoying Lakes Country. So he's got all that coming up and so much more. But I want to ask you this. What's going on the grill and what's in the cooler this weekend? You're going to be shocked to hear this. Busch Lights in my cooler. But we got into this new, she, but you know, when you start getting to the lower limits, then all of a sudden you start sharing. High Noons. Have you sampled? I'll ask you, Eric Johnson, the High Noon, which
for similar reasons I've sampled.
I know, that's the thing. It's like I said, you know what? I'm you know that I just give me a good old fashioned beer, the basics. That's all I care.
So
but
why
now I'm forced to try all this other stuff?
Why I prefer High Noons to other seltzers is that they're vodka based. As opposed to a malt based, like White Claws or the Bud Light ones are malt based. So yeah, you get that full from beer feeling with those, where High Noon is more akin to vodka soda.
Correct. Pineapple's the way to go, and you're not going to argue me otherwise. Watermelon, throw that right down the drain.
Mango's pretty good.
Mango's all right. Okay.
Peach is okay.
I've not done peach. You got pineapple, you got mango. I haven't done peach, and then there was like I'll say another fruity one. They're all fruits.
Yeah, there's a cherry one, I think.
No, I haven't tried that one. That sounds terrible also.
Maybe a lemon lime one. I don't know. There's a lot of flavors.
Yeah, well, so that's going to be in our cooler. But I don't know what you're throwing in the cooler. We're going to do that Name That Beer as well. I got a jingle for you. Oh, well, this one's not necessarily as much of a jingle as it is just part of a commercial. And there's going to be a very important clue in there. And this week, if you guess that name, or if you name that beer correctly, I have got in my hand 2 gate admission passes to the Red River Valley Fair. That's coming up in just a week from today, I believe. July 8th through the 17th, the best 10 days of summer. And one of those days is going to be Tesla. They're going to be taking the stage at the grandstands, and I'm going to actually be doing my show from the KFGO studio that same day. It's Tuesday, July 12th. I got a pair of tickets out here. So I will be giving those away when we get a chance to Name That Beer. But I say, what's going on the grill? What's in your cooler? Tyler, Miller High Life, Dakota Soul, Long Island Tea. That's a good balance. The Dakota Soul, completely underrated if you have not tried the Summit Dakota Soul. The product right out of Rugby, North Dakota is where they're pulling some of that out. So it's the local ties as well. Dakota Soul, good stuff. New York strip steak, sliced rosemary potatoes on the grill, strawberries, cherries, brat burgers. Text back in your address. I don't have a whole lot going on this week, and I might be stopping by. Ribeyes and Big Wave. The Kona seems to have been taking off as well. It's a good summery drink as far as the beer goes. I haven't really gotten into the Konas. No offense to those that have. But if I'm doing just like a summer beer, I'm probably doing a summer shandy, and that is limited to like 2. Don't ever offer me a Bud Light Lime. That stuff is gone for me. Thanks to my buddy Justin for overdoing that. And also the Natter Days. Those things are gone. But now I think the natural light, the Natter Days, have just become, is that a vodka that's on the shelves as well? You're a former bartender. I've seen them back on the shelves. Not on the top, nowhere near the top shelf. Don't get it twisted here. I would assume it's a vodka.
Yeah. Okay. So say that again.
So you know the Natter Day, that is like fruit punch Tahiti treat.
Yep.
Don't do them. Take it from me. But I think they have it now in like a vodka form.
Oh, okay. So maybe like a flavored
could
vodka.
Be wrong.
I have not seen that yet.
Oh.
So I will next time I go stock up for not to Natter Days. Yes. I'll take a look and see what I think.
Avoid the Natter Days, especially a 30 rack of those. All right, you send them in 35270. Number of song requests coming in, plus what's going on the grill, what's in your cooler. We'll do that when we come back. We're to Name That Beer, a thing I like to do when I'm in the studio on Fridays. I will play a clip of a commercial, and all you have to do is guess what beer that belongs to. And then one of you is going to be getting out of here with 2 free gate admissions to the Red River Valley Fair. That's good for any day. And I'll throw in a couple of Tesla tickets as well. That's going to be with special guest Vixen on July 12th here in the West Fargo. I'm Tyler Axe. This afternoon's live. We're just getting started. You know what? It's the 4th of July weekend. You're celebrating your independence. You're looking for some fireworks. Well, Paul Lyons, he's out at Memory Fireworks. Let's check in with Paulie.
Paulie Lyons here out at Memory Fireworks, just off I-29 at the Frontier exit in South Fargo. I'm here with Phil, and you know, Phil, every time you come out here, you know, you got your favorites that you like to do every year. We got a lot of great stuff coming back for this year, don't we?
That's absolutely right, Paul. You know, when you're coming into Memory Fireworks, you're going to look at our back wall, and you're going to see those Memory and Dakota Series multi-shots. Those are the very best that you're going to find anywhere at the very best prices. Those Memory and Dakota Series pieces are hand-picked year after year to have the very finest colored breaks, the loudest booms, and everything else you're looking for. And some of my favorites are back this year. That Exploding Rainbow. It's 36 shots with those awesome crackling tails, long-lasting, phenomenal colored brakes. Has that 10-shot built-in finale at the end. Some of those smaller 200-gram kicks that people love, like the Battling Elk, all sorts of crackle, all sorts of color. Brand new this year is that Dakota Sky Dancer with tons of variety. One of my personal favorites, the Dakota Tough. 4 or 5 different effects in that piece with quality colored brakes. And all of these are going to be at phenomenal prices. And this Memory and Dakota Series items are only found at Memory Fireworks.
All right, and I'm looking around at some of the screens too, and you can see how some of these actually explode in the air, which is a very cool feature.
No, that's absolutely right. When you guys are going for those nighttime displays and you want to see them before you buy them, all of our TVs have all the pieces playing so you can see exactly what you want to buy. And you know what? If you're at home, you can go to memoryfireworks.com or even download our phone app. And that way you can go through all of the pieces we have in the store and just pick the very best ones that you want to buy.
All right, thank you so much, Phil. We are down here at Memory Fireworks, just off of I-29 South in Fargo. Take the Frontier exit and you'll find us. Paulie Lights for the Mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
Simply send it in to 35270. We'll play them for you. I appreciate the person that did request song 2 by Blur. I'd asked what's on the grill, what's in the cooler. Tyler, ribeyes on the grill. Mike's Hard Black Cherry Lemonade and Bud Light in the cooler. I forgot about good old Mike's Hard Lemonade. That's just the 2000s version of Zima, right? We in agreement there? Yeah. They just decided, don't bother with the Jolly Ranchers. Don't make the other purchase. We'll do it for you right at the distillery. Other songs coming in. I appreciate that. But you know what? We're going to do Name That Beer. Something I do every Friday that I'm in the studio. I just pick a jingle, pick a commercial clip from a beer, and all you have to do is text into 35270 what beer that is. And then you're in the running for this week. A couple of gate admissions to the Red River Valley Fair that's starting a week from today, running through July 17th. So I'm going to do a quick audio check on my soundboard from this side. I'm getting a thumbs up. Let's see if she goes. There'll be a lot of that this weekend. Okay, that's not your clue. That's obviously Alan Jackson. This is this week's clue. So you listen to this and text in what beer this commercial belongs to. Now, that last part was a very big clue to this whole situation here. I'm going to play it for you one more time, but I really want you to listen to the last part here. Not the disco music and the blind date, but the last part's very important. Bitter Beer Face. What commercial, what brand of beer revolved around not having bitter beer face? Messages coming in. No, it is not Miller Lite. I appreciate that coming in, and a number of them in here. You send in which one you think it is at 35270, and we will get those to you. A lot of people do think it's Miller Lite. Wrong. Tyler, on the grill, thick cut ribeyes with Grain Belt Premium. Good old classic for you there. Song request coming in as well. James Brown, Living in America. Absolutely. We're going to be playing that one a lot as well. I'm not sure. Is that a song request or is that, in fact, a beer? Mocha Love? Never heard of it. No, it is not Bud Light. No, it is not Schlitz. You keep them coming in. No, it is not Michelob. At 35270. I'm going to play it one more time for you, okay? Just one last time. Bear with me. Here's your clue for Name That Beer. It is not natural light or grain belt either. And if you remember this commercial, you remember the actual face of the bitter beer face? I mean, how do you have an audition for that? Give me the ugliest face you could find. No, it is, for the love of God, it's Milwaukee's Best. It is not Milwaukee's Best either. It's not Busch Light, even though that does take care of it. Not Mad Dog.
Can I give them a little hint? They're struggling today. They're very close with Keystone, but wrong.
Why do you say that?
That if you understand beer companies, that hint makes a lot of sense.
Here we go. I'm going to give the answer for you. Never a bitter face. I don't understand what you are saying.
I thought those were always Keystone Light.
Keystone.
Like
the guy Keith Stone.
The dirty of stones.
The dirty of stones.
Yeah, dirty 30 pack.
Oh, yeah.
Did you never do that when you were freshly 21?
So here, well, not a minute before that clock struck 12.
Midnight on Boxing Day.
Let me just say that you can tell who was in which town based on all those litterers out there. Everybody that was immature, freshly 21, that would come to your town and leave a calling card, so to speak. If you saw Keystone Light anywhere near your town, you knew that somebody from Can-Do was in the area. Back where I grew up. Like, oh, God, those Can-Do folk around here somewhere.
I happen to know a Can-Do fella pretty well from
Keystone?
my other job. No, he was a liquor guy, so he didn't order beer often.
Okay, I'll say he grew up and his taste buds
we
matured.
Also didn't have. I mean, we could give you Keystone, but it wasn't a regular stock in our coolers.
Where does one go to find? Hey, if you go up belly up at the bar, say, you know what, I want a Keystone, and they're like, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
$2.50. I bet you that's the regular going price for Keystone is $2.50, and that's not a happy hour special. That is.
Yep,
that's
full
of the
maximum price.
Coors Light, but I can go. Oh, it's not Coors Light, so you're not going. Budweiser, no. Stroh's, and it's Keystone. Is in fact the answer this week, and a lot of you are getting Stella. No, that stuff will give you bitter beer face and make you smell like you just kissed a skunk,
or you spent too much time at Lake Elsie.
Yeah, well, yeah, with a skunk.
Yep.
At that compound. Yeah, Stella forces bitter. Thanks everybody for playing along. A lot of people did, in fact, get Keystone. I will text you back. One of you is going with a friend or family over to Red River Valley Fairgrounds any day between January. Boy, that's a long ways away, right? Hopefully. July 8th to the 17th. I'm also going to throw in, you can use this if you want on the same pass, but Tesla with special guest Vixen. That's July 12th. I'm going to be out there broadcasting that day, so stop by, say hello. In fact, the KFGO studios right at the grandstands, pardon me, so you won't miss us at all. 237-5948 is Laney's studio line. You can call in on anything today. You can also text in, as a ton of you are, at 35270. What's on the grill? What's going in the cooler? Also, whatever song you want to hear between now and 5 o'clock, we'll get you there as you make your approach on out of probably work or wherever it is that your destination is. And I want to encourage you to do so safely, and that's what we're going to be doing a little bit later on. We have had a lot of tragic accidents involving motorcycles. In fact, I think this year, it's only July 1st, and I think it's more deadly on the roads when it comes to motorcyclists than all of last year. So we're going to be visiting with Lonnie Birch about that, motorcycle safety, about the organization. He's
Paulie Lights just off I-29 down here at Memory Fireworks and the Frontier exit. I'm out here with Phil. And, I'm checking out some of the inventory you got here. You got some, what are the best cakes?
On the Minnesota
The very best
side,
cakes that you're going to find anywhere in the area are going to be those Memory and Dakota Series multi-shots. Tons and tons of pieces, brand new pieces every year, including the Dakota Sky Dancer, and of course that Dakota Family Pack this year, the Dakota Pack. Some of the very best multi-shots, including the Dakota Strong, Big Time, Rodeo Clown, the Fish Series, Autumn Harvest, and of course everybody loves that Smaller You Betcha. And those are only found in that Dakota Pack. And you know what, Paul? People come in, we're always talking about those Dakota Memory Series multi-shots. Some of them are looking for the reloads, those mortars, the artillery shells. We have the very best, the very brightest, and the very biggest multi-shot and artillery shell packs that you're going to find. Those artillery packs start with the M1. It's 12 shells, all sorts of different colors, all sorts of different breaks. Get a little bigger. We have those M5 and M6 artillery shells. M5 5-inch canister shells. The M6, this brand new this year, those 6-inch canister shells, all sorts of different colors, all sorts of different effects. If you want the largest breaks you've ever seen, come in and buy our M6, and they are going to sell out this year.
All right, and tell us where we're located at so everyone can get on down here before they head on out for the 4th holiday.
Yeah, before you guys get out of town for the weekend, come into Memory Fireworks. And we have locations all over the area, including the West Fargo Fairgrounds, Mapleton, on I-29, exit 69 north of town. We have a great store with Kyle and Thea. Today we're at Memory Fireworks in Frontier off of exit 60 in South Fargo. That's just south of 52nd Avenue across from the big Walmart. And of course we have our superstore down in Horace. Go in there, talk to Big Dave, talk to Ron, and that is off I-29, exit 56.
All right, thanks so much, Phil. This is Paul Lights broadcasting live from Memory Fireworks out here in South Fargo, just off the Frontier exit in South Fargo. Reporting live for the Mighty 790 at 104.7 KFGO.
News and weather this hour brought to you by Rick Electric, proud to serve the Fargo-Moorhead area since 1964. Day or night, they're here for you. Find them at rickelectric.com.
Sunny, it's 78 degrees. I'm Paul Jurgens. Expect a significant police presence on roads around Minnesota. Stepped up speed enforcement runs through the end of the month.
Speed continues to be the leading cause of fatalities on Minnesota roads. And so we are working not only with our partners at the State Patrol, but with nearly 300 law enforcement agencies across the state to really place an emphasis on the importance of obeying that speed limit and driving according to the condition.
Mike Hansen with the Office of Traffic Safety says last year at least 166 people died in speed-related crashes, the most since 2003. There were 10,136 abortions in Minnesota last year, 2% fewer than the year before, according to the State Health Department. Scott Fishbach with Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Rights says despite the pandemic, abortions did not increase much. Fishbach said
all these big strong men, Uncle Sam needs help again. Got himself in a terrible jam. Way down yonder in Vietnam. Put down the books and pick up the gun. We'll have a whole lot of fun. There's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7, over the Pearl Gate. Well, ain't no time to wonder why we're all gonna die. Hey, well,
78,
come on,
this is KFGO News.
Purdue University Global. Apply now at purdueglobal.edu.
Hello, Americans. Not long ago, I received a letter from a woman in the Midwest.
78, this is KFGO News. Two websites that serve Job Service North Dakota have been offline for nearly a week due to what the department calls a vendor service issue. The database that allows job seekers to search for jobs, as well as a site which houses labor
Poly lines just off of I-29. Memory fireworks in the frontier. Hanging up here with Bill. And you don't pick up some of the inventory you got here. You got some of the best cakes.
Has been compromised by a service outage. It began Sunday. It's disrupting the job service search process for job seekers.
Poly lines just off I-29. Memory fireworks in the frontier. Hanging up here with Bill. And you don't pick up some of the inventory you got here. You know,
back online as soon as possible. Some downtown Minneapolis neighborhoods are raising money privately to pay for extra police patrols. The initiative by the Downtown Minneapolis Neighborhood Association is facing criticism from other parts of the city that say they can't afford the same level of protection. The association has raised $15,000 so far to hire off-duty officers. The extra patrols will begin next week with uniformed officers on bikes able to make arrests. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has applied for a permit to hold a fireworks show at Mount Rushmore to celebrate Independence Day next year. The National Park Service has denied her permit application for the past 2 years, citing environmental concerns and objections from Native American tribes. In 2020, a fireworks display featuring a fiery speech from former President Donald Trump was held at the monument, the first in about 10 years. A federal judge last year rejected the governor's lawsuit that sought to force the Park Service to allow fireworks at the monument. Noem has appealed to that decision. KFGO Weather Center forecast near 80 for a high this afternoon. We're getting close now. It's 78, mostly sunny. Partly cloudy, 52 overnight, 81, mostly sunny tomorrow. About 59, the low tomorrow night. Possible showers, thunderstorms overnight, otherwise partly cloudy. Partly sunny on Sunday, possible showers, thunderstorms, 82. Also, Independence Day, Monday, 82, partly sunny, chance of showers, thunderstorms, and about 80 for the high on Tuesday, partly sunny, a slight chance of showers and storms. Again, 78, Paul Juergens, News Radio, KFGO.
Now, you think about that boom box sitting on the picnic table, and you're watching over your left shoulder Rusty Halverson in a bro tank of the American flag and his mullet in all his glory.
Yeah, with a headband on, my brother.
Yeah. And you got sunglasses that are like from the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
That like go touch your cheeks.
Oh, yeah. And you're talking like kind of mirrored shades.
Yes, the mirrored shades. There you go.
Yeah.
And you're rocking out to the boss. Some Born in the USA.
Yep.
Your request. Appreciate that, man.
Yep.
Congratulations to Mark, by the way, for getting Keystone correct and getting your Red River Valley Fair passes and Tesla. You've been working hard today. I don't know why. It feels like a holiday for everybody else in this building, I must say.
What do I do? Why do I do this to myself?
I don't know. You're working too hard, and you're making me feel a little guilty from just... I got my flip-flops on, man. I'm ready for this holiday break.
Yeah. You're talking about new varieties in Minnesota, Tyler. I heard you talking about
new varieties
stuff.
Of
not
cannabis,
agriculture. Well,
THC.
that's kind of agriculture related.
They grow it.
Yeah, I know. And this is a subject that I need to become more educated on, to be honest with you. because
about the sheer mechanics of growing it, I think is where you're getting.
Yeah, because it's.
Were you camping at this weekend?
Well, Minnesota.
I'm gonna have to try some myself and really get educated over the weekend.
I mean, when it comes to agricultural crops and things like this, I mean, this is a legitimate topic when we talk about.
It absolutely is. In fact, I know that earlier on. Investment groups getting together saying, hey, we've got people that are willing to grow this where it's legal and we got the products that we would like to make with it.
Yep.
And it's only going to get bigger.
Yep.
With more states, no doubt, undoubtedly coming on board with this.
Yeah. But that's not why you called, as Jack Michaels would say.
Mm-hmm.
A new wheat variety is coming out in Minnesota. University of Minnesota. Dr. Joachim Wiersma, he's with the University of Minnesota Extension Service, talking about this new wheat variety that they've got coming out. Now, once the University of Minnesota approves this variety for public release, it will go to the Minnesota Crop Improvement Association in St. Paul, and the association's members will produce the foundation seed for this variety when it finally gets approved for sale. And again, M.N. Rossi.
Very good. Rusty, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
We'll talk about the other variety when we come back after CBS News, but I want to talk hops with you.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk hops.
In the meantime, you keep sending in what's going on the grill and what's in the cooler for your 4th of July celebrations. Some more coming in. I will get to those, but I got to check in with our friend Paul Lyons. He's out of Memory Fireworks. Still slinging those fireworks. We'll check in with him before the CBS News.
Well, come on, all of you
Yesterday, our newest team gave out that reminder saying, hey, you know what, it's July 1st tomorrow, and Minnesota, guess what, it's illegal then for food and drinks containing enough THC for consumers to experience some of the effects through a bill that passed in the legislative session. And a lot of you were actually saying, what? I don't remember hearing much about this. Well, let's talk about it with Jason Tarasek. He is a person that's very much in the know. He's with the Minnesota cannabis law, joining us right now on Afternoons Live. Jason, I appreciate you taking time this Friday. How are you doing?
My pleasure. Crazy day here in Minnesota. The THC products are flying off the shelves.
Yeah, well,
it's a new reality here.
It is, and it was one of those realities that smacked a lot of people across the face, I'd say, over the last 24 hours, unexpectedly so. And, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I follow Minnesota, North Dakota, legislative sessions. I don't remember this one getting a whole lot of attention. Was that by design, or was I just blind to what was going on?
Well, was it by design? No. To be honest with you, I'm as surprised as anybody that this law passed. I was actively lobbying for it. We started talking about this in December, and it just kind of kept proceeding. It initially started as a smaller bill, and things kept getting tacked on. And the thing that everyone's talking about today, the THC, hemp-derived THC in edibles, came on late in the game. And sure enough, at about 11:30 at night on the last day of the legislative session, they approved it.
What's good, family?
I bet you, Jason, there are lawmakers listening right now kicking themselves saying, don't look at the vote total and who voted aye, because I didn't read the full bill. I didn't know this was in there. But guess what? It's too late. It's passed, and now it's legal. So talk about what is, in fact, legal right now as you and I speak on the Minnesota side of this KFGO audience.
Yeah, well, the big news today is that for the first time ever in Minnesota, consumers can go to a CBD shop and purchase hemp-derived THC products in food and beverages. So I think for right now, for today, people are buying gummies with up to 5 milligrams of THC, of THC. And that's big news, and that puts Minnesota on an island of sorts. Traditionally, you either were an adult use marijuana state or you weren't, and now Minnesota has created sort of this middle ground, and so we are garnering a lot of attention from across the country.
So the questions, I'm sitting on the North Dakota side. I've been in the North Dakota legislature before, and when we've talked about even medical marijuana and how far we've come from my days in the state Senate to where we are now, that it is legal for medical marijuana purposes, and boy, that was a long road ahead. But we got there. Now there's going to be an attempt for recreational. That's going to be on the November ballot. I have no doubt there. The questions that keep coming out is how do you limit, not necessarily abuse, but, say somebody stops at the CBD store, they buy a gummy, then they get behind the wheel and drive on a very busy weekend in which, there's a lot of traffic accidents, unfortunately, because it's, our independence. People are out celebrating. What are the parameters of what is legal and what's not when it comes to, after I take that edible, can I drive? How about work? Walk me through some of that, Jason.
Sure. Well, I think the important thing to remember here is that people have been using marijuana for a long time. And when I talk to legislators, sometimes they say, well, I don't want to create a market for this stuff. And I tell them, well, guess what? The market exists. It just so happens that you're not regulating it or taxing it. So our new legislation in Minnesota is an adult use bill, right? You got to be 21 or older to purchase this stuff. So we have taken strides to keep this out of the hands of children. It can't be marketed to kids. It's got to be tamper resistant. And the fact of the matter is, right now, it's easier for kids to get marijuana than it is to get alcohol. And it may sound surprising, but I got the data to back me up. When a state legalizes adult use marijuana, teen use goes down in every single state that has done that. And I understand concerns about distracted driving. But Governor Walz, he likes to say, Minnesota Governor Walz, he likes to say he trusts adults to make adult decisions. And the fact of the matter is, it's driving distracted or impaired. It was illegal yesterday. It's illegal today, even though we have taken a baby step towards full adult use marijuana here in Minnesota. And, you asked about the workplace too. Yeah, I mean, you can't show up impaired, right? That your employer isn't going to be fond of that. And there are certain jobs, heavy machinery, jobs associated with federal statutes, trucking, and that sort of thing. I mean, you probably can't have THC in your system for those sorts of things. But for the vast majority of jobs, employers, if you get the job done, they're not going to care whether you're drinking alcohol in your off time or whether maybe you're enjoying a hemp-derived THC gummy. We need to accept the fact that the world is not going to end if we allow a little bit of THC consumption.
Jason Tarasek, our guest, Minnesota cannabis law. We're talking about the changes that go into effect today in Minnesota. And I've got a number of messages, and this one stood out to me, Jason. I'll throw it your way. Tyler, Delta 8, 9, and 10 have been selling at smoke shops in Minnesota for some time now. So for somebody that might not know exactly all the differences there, what's different than if that was already being sold in smoke shops, Delta 8, 9, and 10, compared to what is now being allowed today? Can you explain that to me, Jason?
Yeah. So this bill, our new bill, allows for hemp-derived THC in edibles, beverages, food. It does not allow for it in the form of smokables, vapes. So that's new. This Delta 8 in particular was getting sold at very high rates in Minnesota because it benefited from a legal loophole. Neither the 2018 federal farm bill nor the Minnesota hemp statute directly outlawed Delta 8. Those laws spoke only of limitations on Delta 9 THC. So arguably, Delta 8 and Delta 10 fell through the cracks so long as they were hemp-derived. Now, the problem with Delta 8, Delta 10 is that to extract those cannabinoids in sufficient amounts to turn them into a vape cartridge, you got to put them through a pretty hostile chemical process. So I think this new law in Minnesota reflects a concern by the Minnesota legislators that perhaps that these Delta 8 vapes were not healthy. And I think allowing for edibles is a good sort of recognition that perhaps we should open the market up a little bit, but maybe do away with these Delta 8 vapes that may be harmful to health.
Mm-hmm. Final question I have for you, Jason. I'll let you get back after it here. You mentioned about regulation, taxation. Has that all been established? I imagine it had to have been, but are we expecting a large revenue back to the state of Minnesota based on this legalization?
Well, frankly, there is no special tax associated with this new law, and there is no special license required to sell it. I imagine that when the legislature comes back in session in January, that they may address those things. Because I think that, with any adult use market, there comes a chance to capture some tax revenue, because you want to put the black market out of business, but you may as well capture some tax revenue because it's still probably going to be cheaper than buying off the black market. So I think we still have some work to do in Minnesota in terms of addressing those issues, but it's still a heck of a day here in Minnesota as we take a giant leap forward.
Yeah, well, like I said, it had a lot of us go, whoa, I missed this one, and I just appreciate the opportunity to learn a little bit more now that it's just a hop, skip, and a jump for many of us that are listening right now, and not everybody. I know we have a large listening audience in Minnesota, and hopefully they learned a little bit as well. Jason, I'm going to let you go. You have a great 4th of July celebration, and we'll chat again soon, all right?
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jason Tarasek, again, he's with the Minnesota cannabis law. THC, edibles, drinks, all that now legal as of right now today in Minnesota. 11:30 in that final day is when this got in and it got passed. How many of you lawmakers out there even knew you were voting on that? I'm really curious, and I want you to be honest. 35270. We'll get you out of this weather update from Too Tall Tom Schmansky. Check back in with Paul Lines. He's on Memory Fireworks. What's going on the grill? What's in your cooler? Lots of those I will share with the rest of the audience right after this.
Good afternoon, Paulie Lights back out here at Memory Fireworks, just off the I-29 frontage road in Frontier. Come on out and see us. I'm here with Jaden this time, and we are talking about some of the great stuff they got going on. Jaden, tell us about some of the great packs you got going on for the 4th of July.
Yeah, we got a sweet new pack called our Dakota Pack. It'll be running $350. It'll be filled with some of our own Memory and Dakota series, 200 and 500 grams, so it'll be perfect for your show.
All right, we do have some great stuff for the kids. I know coming in here, I used to love doing fireworks as a kid, and you got a lot of stuff just designed for the kids. Well, tell me more about that.
Exactly, yeah. We have a huge assortment for the kids. We have all the kids coming back for our Poopy Puppies, our Circus Peanuts, and our Bad Dogs. We also have like your casual snappers and your sparklers.
Oh, so much fun. I love the Poopy Puppies. They just are just so crazy. Dakota series, you got a lot of great stuff. We were talking with Phil about that last hour. Tell me about some of that stuff.
We do. We obviously have our Dakota and Memory series. A new 200 gram this year would be our Dakota Sky Dancer. That thing has beautiful color in it. Some of our fan favorites that have been coming back, we have Big Time and the favorite Exploding Rainbow, which would be your 36 shots built in a 10-shot finale in that guy.
All right, we are just off of I-29 on the Frontier exit out here at Memory Fireworks. Paulie Lights broadcasting live for the mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO.
If you don't have this on your list for your 4th of July celebration, you're doing it wrong. Thanks for sending this request into 35270. We're going to let it get there. Now, remind me, in Rocky 4, Creed comes out to this, right? In his top hat and vest that sparkles.
With James Brown performing
That was. I
live.
thought I could. Yep. Turn it up. Now, as somebody who has had to walk in more parades than I ever thought I would in my entire life in a very short amount of time, you would get stuck behind other political floats. And they would have the songs playing from their floats. This one never made the cut. Now, I'm going to say...
That's just a mistake.
I will throw this person's name out, and I don't care if they're the staff of this former congressman, wannabe senator. Rick Berg. I got stuck behind his float, and he played the same 3 songs over
Lee
and
Greenwood.
over. Of course, Lee Greenwood. I don't remember the other 2, but I wanted to gouge my eyes out because it was the same 3 songs. There are so many other songs that make you proud to be an American.
Yeah, that's when you dip into the campaign funds. You grab the biggest speaker you can find, and you just put that.
It costs you nothing to stream these things. It costs you nothing.
No, I'm saying you, next parade, need the biggest speaker you can find.
Yeah, but we didn't have an actual float. We were walking. I think we had a scooter.
You could have 80s boomboxed it.
My buddy
shoulder.
had a red, I almost said velvet, a red corduroy suit.
Oh, God,
on a blacktop. Yeah.
Miserable
I
in
know.
the summer.
He was a trooper for me. But how do you not have Living in America by James Brown in your political float when you're talking about freedom, America, vote for me? It was a mistake. I don't remember the other 2, but it was terrible. Keep sending them in, 35270. We'll play them between now and 5 o'clock. As is tradition, Rock Request Friday. I'm Tyler Exodus, host of Afternoons Live. He's Eric Johnson, our producer. We've got CBS National News. We'll check back in with Paul Jurgens. When we come back, let's talk about motorcycle safety on the road this weekend as well. This is KFGO Fargo.
for what's right. Fight for your life. When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you got to stand, don't have to hide.
I can still picture Hulk Hogan's music video on the Jumbotron when he hears the cars.
I gotta be the man. I
You
can't
better have this for your 4th of July. But you get to watch a bunch of dudes and gals eat as many hot dogs as they can consume. It started and really taken off in 1991. George Shea ran the then small Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. Record, I think, is what? Before just like 76 hot dogs? Gross. I bet you I can do single digits at the max. Not only that short amount of time, I mean within like hours. A hot dog you can consume. We come back, we'll have a little bit of fun, but I wanted to have this very serious conversation for just a moment. Because recently we've had just fatal motorcycle accidents. And this year alone has seen too many. And we're going to talk about the roads, awareness, safety, and flood emergencies. Executive Director of Bain will talk about that and the ability to raise awareness. When we come back after this kid. KFGO News, Fargo-Moorhead, sunny, 78. I'm Paul Jerkins. Extra law enforcement is on Minnesota roads this month and this weekend with a focus on speeding. Mike Hansen heads the State Office of Traffic Safety.
The bottom line becomes we're in the business of preventing serious injury and fatality crashes, and that's what we're going to be working very hard on during the month of July, which can be one of the deadliest months on Minnesota roads.
Hansen says speed was the largest contributing factor in several crashes during the 100 deadliest days last summer. That's Memorial Day through Labor Day. The State Patrol, Sheriff's Departments, and local police are taking part in the month-long enforcement event. Extra law enforcement is on Minnesota lakes and rivers this holiday weekend. They're looking for impaired boaters. The DNR says the goal is simple, keep everyone safe. Operation Dry Water, as they're calling it, runs through the 4th of July. Energy companies bid more than $22 million to secure drilling rights on public lands in the western U.S. yesterday during the first onshore oil and natural gas lease sale since President Biden took office. Nearly a third of the total bids were on leases in North Dakota. Producers paid over $7 billion for 15 parcels in McKenzie, Williams, and Montreal counties. Senator Kevin Kramer says the lease sale demonstrates the attractiveness of the Bakken, as well as the dire need for domestic oil and gas production. Oil production increased in the U.S. in recent months, but it's still well below pre-pandemic levels. Companies have been hesitant to expand drilling too quickly because of uncertainty over how long high prices will continue. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has applied for a permit to hold a fireworks show at Mount Rushmore to celebrate Independence Day next year. The National Park Service has denied her permit applications for the past 2 years, citing environmental concerns and objections from Native American tribes. KFGO Weather Center forecast, we will be right around 80 for a high this afternoon, mostly sunny. 52, partly cloudy overnight. Tomorrow, a mostly sunny day, 81. Rain chances tomorrow night, after midnight, it appears, 59. Chance of showers, thunderstorms. 82, Sunday, partly sunny. Slight chance of showers and storms. Sunday night, maybe some rain, 64. And Monday, 82, partly sunny, just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. 78, Paul Jerkins, News Radio, KFGO.
Folks, it's going to be a busy weekend out on the roadways. In fact, it probably is already starting to pick up. I know of a lot of people that took this afternoon off because they wanted to get an early jump to get on the road and get where they're going to celebrate the 4th of July on this extended weekend. But it's been deadly out on the roads. And in fact, just within the last couple of weeks, we've seen that, in particular when it comes to motorcycle crashes. Thus far in 2022, we've already surpassed the number of fatalities in all of 2021. It's July 1st. So we wanted to take an opportunity to talk about motorcycle safety, and not only for those that are on the motorcycle, but those that are driving alongside them on the roads. To do that, we've invited Lonnie Birch on Afternoons Live. He is the executive director of ABATE, joining us right now. Lonnie, how are you this Friday afternoon?
I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to discuss, these tragic accidents and ways that we can prevent them. We've got people in Fargo. We had the police chief of Carrington, which I believe a GoFundMe has been set up for Brandon Sola. It's just, when we're passing and talking at the water cooler, it's a topic that we keep coming back to is, motorcycle safety and these deaths preventable. Let's talk about it. But first, I want you to start off with explaining what ABATE of North Dakota is.
ABATE of North Dakota is a motorcycle rights organization. It's been around since '75. We are the sole provider of the North Dakota Motorcycle Safety Program, our rider education program, teaching people how to ride safely.
Very good. Well, and I've seen some of these classes going on. I think in West Fargo on Cheyenne Street, I've seen people out there, and I'm not sure if there's an affiliation, but I know that there's people interested in learning how to ride a motorcycle, do so safely. But we always seem to have that reminder, whether you're on the motorcycle or if you're like me in the pickup, that this is the time people are out enjoying, the short window we've got of spring and summer here. So with all these tragic accidents, what is ABATE up to as far as raising awareness?
We've got, it's not just awareness for the car drivers. We try to get the motorcycle riders aware that cars just can't see us. We're a small target out there on the highways, and as long as we would obey traffic laws and ride responsibly, that will help out quite a bit. The car drivers themselves, they just need to look twice before pulling out into an intersection. We have a lot of crashes throughout the year where cars end up taking left in front of a motorcycle, and like I said, we're a small target out there.
Yeah, well, that's very true. I mean, when you got, especially in town here, you have so many, objects potentially in the way as well. Yeah. That's why looking more than just that once to make sure that you are being mindful and scanning the roadways here, Lonnie. I'm curious, one thing that gets brought up, not only with motorcycles, but bicycles, anything that you're out there is helmet, and people who are wearing, who aren't wearing, I believe still in North Dakota is not required. But do we discuss a whole lot about usage of helmets?
Sure. North Dakota is a mandatory helmet law for anybody under the age of 18. Over 18 and over, it's kind of a pro-choice situation for that. Helmets do protect you, but me and ABATE of North Dakota feel, it's not just the helmet. It is all the gear all the time at GAT, which you may hear that term around. And that's, besides the helmet, it's eye protection and long sleeves, arms covered all the time, full finger gloves, long pants without holes in it, over the ankle protection, high top boots, something good grip on the bottom. It's a combination of all of that will really help a rider be safe.
If somebody wants to, they're thinking about maybe getting a motorcycle and they know of your organization about raising awareness, safety, all that. Courses, all that. Just walk me through what's available out there for people out. They're curious, they've been interested, but they want to make sure they're doing it properly.
Sure, I recommend all the time. Before you go out and buy a motorcycle, just because you think it looks cool and I want to try it, go take one of our classes. And the facility you saw in West Fargo on Cheyenne Street, that is our facility. We've got some awesome rider coaches teaching those classes pretty much 7 days a week there right now. We teach classes beginning of May through about the middle of September. And there's, about 4 classes a week going on right in West Fargo. So that's pretty cool. To check on our classes, you go to our website, which is NorthDMSP.com, which are first letters of North Dakota Motorcycle Safety Program, and find a class location near you in a time that fits your schedule. We have permanent sites in, this time of the year in Bismarck and West Fargo, but we also travel to Dickinson and Jamestown, and we get into Grand Forks if possible, and we get into Minot if possible. We get around the state. Throughout the summer, we try to teach about 2,000 people a summer in North Dakota how to ride. The class is usually a 3-day event. There's a classroom section, 3 to 4 hours long, and then you ride motorcycle for 2 days, 4 hours each day with us. And when you complete the class, and not everybody's successful, because I'm sure you've seen people out there on the road that you say, man, that guy shouldn't be riding. But when you complete our program and successfully complete it, we give you a card that you take to your local DMV, and it helps you acquire your motorcycle license. You need to pass the state permit test, present our card, and they should give you your motorcycle license at that time. We aren't saying we are highly trained people when we're out on the street at that point. What we are is we have the basic knowledge on how to ride motorcycles safely, and we need to take it from there and practice more.
Yeah, and experience goes a long way, what you're getting at here, and even just, like I say, seeing some of the training that goes on, and it's people of, all ages. And what I mean is, it could be somebody that's nearing retirement age, they want to jump on and learn the ropes. It's quite encouraging to see the wide diversity, I guess is what I'll say, about people that want to learn and learn to do so safely through your guys' work. So I applaud you for all the work you and some of your volunteers are out there doing, Lonnie.
Yeah, thanks. The youngest person we can take in our class is 14, which is an awesome idea. Get them out there young, because it doesn't only help them in driving a motorcycle or riding a motorcycle, but it also gives them kind of some experience as to what a motorcyclist goes through out there on the street and what they see. We don't take them out on the streets, of course, to ride. We ride in a closed circuit area. The youngest, like I said, is 14. The oldest I've had in class has been 78.
Wow.
And it was an interesting day. and we have usually about 35% are female riders right about now for the past couple of years. So it's kind of encouraging that people want to take the class, because the more people we train, the better off I think the state is.
Yeah. There's no question there, Lonnie. Before I let you go, give listeners a reminder one more time. It's going to be very busy out there. I'm looking at Too Tall Tom Schmancy's forecast here, and it's going to be a nice weekend. People are going to want to be out enjoying it. But give them just a reminder before I let you go about motorcyclists on the road.
Watch out for us. We're everywhere. The person you see on a motorcycle is somebody else loves and cares about. It could be your friend, your neighbor, or even a relative. Just watch out for those people. And as far as the motorcycle riders, ride responsibly. Don't drink and ride. Obey traffic laws, and just be cautious, because whatever you do on that motorcycle reflects on all the rest of us as bikers. So just be respectful and share the road.
Lonnie, I appreciate you taking time on a Friday. You have a great and safe 4th of July celebration, and we'll chat again soon, all right?
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Yeah, you do the same. Lonnie Birch, he is with Abate. You know what? They're just talking motorcycle safety, both for motorcyclists and for people like myself who are not riding them. But to be mindful, look twice, because they're going to be out enjoying it, and they have every right to those roadways as well. I'm going to check with Paul Lyons. He is still out at Memory Fireworks. We're going to see how the deals are going out there. If you still have not made your firework purchase, he'll tell you some of the deals, and then we'll come back to all these messages. What's in the cooler? What's going on the grill this weekend? I'll share those when we come back here on Afternoons Live.
Hey, Paul Lights back here at Memory Fireworks, just off of I-29, right at the Frontier exit. I'm here with Jaden, and we are just having a good time checking out some of the great deals, especially those lake goers. You want to check out some of the different series, the Dakota and Memory series. Jaden, tell me more about that.
Yeah, we will have our whole back wall filled with our Dakota and Memory series. We'll have your 200s all the way up to your 500 grams. Some of the favorite pieces that I have would be the Prairie Rose. That is beautiful color in that guy. Your Dakota Rattler. You'll have your beautiful red, white, and blue. And then bumping up to those 500 grams, that Big Time and Exploding Rainbow. Big Time, you'll get your beautiful, big red, white, and blue brakes. an exploding rainbow, you get your nice crackling tail to a nice, beautiful rainbow burst.
And, I've been looking around at some of these screens out here, not really sure what some of these fireworks do. You show it right on the screen what each and every one does. Also, you can check those out on your website.
We do. We have 3 TVs here that have them playing constantly throughout the day to see what you're going to be getting. We also have an app that you can download, scan any of the barcodes and the pieces here, and you can see exactly what you're getting for your show.
All right, reporting live from South Fargo at Memory Fireworks, just off of I-29 at Frontier Exit. Paul Lights for the mighty 790 and 104.7 KFGO. Let's head on back to the studio, guys.
You send them in, we play them 35270, provided by the Eye Consultants of North Dakota. I'm Tyler Axtis. I'm sitting in the Gunderson studio of KFGO. Gonna be with you till 5 o'clock.
Paulie Lights.
Got the Drive Time News, Jack Sunday, Couch Potato Radio to follow. Twins back in action versus the Orioles. That's 6:30 pregame. Chris Atterbury, the studio host, will be taking over these airwaves. First pitch, 7:10. On your home for Twins baseball, KFGO. I'd asked, what's going on the grill? What's in the cooler? Tyler, having some canned 21-plus Arnold Palmers on hole 18 at Cottonwood Golf Course in Castleton. Happy 4th weekend. Happy 4th to you as well. That was sent in a while ago. I'm assuming you're all wrapped up at Cottonwood Golf in Castleton, which is a great course, by the way. Short, you can get it done quick, unless you swing like I do. Then it's not so lucky. There was another one in here that I wanted to get to, and now, of course, I lost the dang thing. I tell you, this quote from, and this is back to the THC over in Minnesota. That's not legal. Like this quote from Adam Spiker, you don't have a real cannabis industry if the dominant portion of it has no interest in it being legal. One thing that keeps coming back in these conversations is the fact that look, people are still buying and using marijuana. They're just not doing it illegally. So, I mean, the market's already there. And if you look at what other states have done, and it's going to be a growing list of states. South Dakota, you were right there. You said, sure, we want this, and then your governor got in the way. And then in North Dakota, you're going to have an opportunity to vote to legalize recreational. I have no doubt in my mind that committee will have more, and I mean substantially more than enough signatures to get on the ballot. And then you're going to vote on it in November. My prediction, you're going to pass it. I do believe that. I know there's people listening to me right now saying, no way, I'm not voting for that. I think you're in the minority. If I have to eat crow on November 8th or whatever it is that Wednesday after the election, so I'll gladly do it, but I don't think this is going to be one that I'm wrong on. But in Minnesota, they, as you heard from Jason Tarasek, that they kind of found the middle ground. They don't have recreational marijuana, but they do have, this ability for somebody to kind of have the substance in gummies, in edibles, in beverages, which has lent other people to say, well, we have looser laws for THC than what we can do when it comes to beer and whiskey and wine, and where we can and cannot buy those in the state of Minnesota. It caught people off guard. I felt it yesterday when the news was discussed here, saying that, hey, tomorrow in Minnesota, guess what you can go buy? People were asking, say if I buy this and more, can I bring it back to Fargo? You're going to have a bad time if you get pulled over and caught with it, or if you consumed it. Still not legal in North Dakota. What's going on the grill and what's in the cooler? Tyler, stones and brats. Steak beer is bitter beer face, and a headache also comes in as we're doing some of that earlier on today. Camping for a week on Sunday. My cooler is packed with steaks, drummies, and pork chops. High noon, lime, black cherry, and passion fruit. Passion fruit is the other one. I go pineapple, mango, passion fruit. Take that watermelon, throw it out. You're not going to have a good time. It's a terrible one. A bottle of Tito's and Busch Light for the hubby. Okay. Going to have a good time out there. I appreciate that. Do so safely. We'll check back in on Tuesday. Programming, no afternoons live on Monday. We're going to be out there celebrating along with you America's independence. But we'll recap all of our activities on Tuesday, as well as recap the weekend in sports. Here's what we're going to do when we come back after KFJ News. Rusty Alverson, we're talking hops. About all that craft beer that many of you are bringing along with you wherever you're camping or throwing the party to celebrate on Monday. But also, if you're not going anywhere, there's plenty of things to do in downtown Fargo. Erica Rapp from FargoUnderground.com. She's going to be at studio, and that segment brought to you by the Boiler Room of downtown Fargo. I've got, as usual, a $25 gift card to the Boiler Room for one of you lucky listeners. I'll tell you how you can win that when we come back here. Keep sending in those rock requests. We got another hour and a half with you here on Afternoons Live. You send them in, we play them, 35270. We'll be back with more Afternoons Live. We're going to check back in with Paul Lyons. He is at Memory Fireworks. Make sure you stop there before you head on out to get all your firework needs. We'll send out to Paul Lyons. KFJ News next.
Paulie Lights back down here at Memory Fireworks, just off of I-29 on exit 60, just in South Fargo. You want to come down and check out all the great stuff. Jaden, I know we talk about everybody else's favorite. Tell me about some of your favorites that you feature out here at Memory Fireworks.
Yeah, a couple of my favorites are obviously from the Memory and Dakota series. My favorite 200 gram would have to be the Fargo. That thing is sweet. You get 25 shots with a built-in 10-shot finale in that guy. Popcorn effect after every shot. My favorite 500 gram would have to be the Exploding Rainbow. You get your 36 shots, beautiful color, also ends on a 10-shot finale, so that guy is sweet.
Oh, so much great stuff, and of course we got stuff for the kids, stuff for the big kids, and it's just unbelievable. Now you can check out all of this great stuff, including videos on your website. Tell me about that.
We do have it on our app, so when you come on in, you can scan any of the barcodes while using our app, and you'll pull up a video and see what you're getting for your show.
That is so awesome. I don't know anybody else who offers that feature. So much stuff for the kids. You got one of my favorites is the dog poop stuff.
Oh yeah, the poopy puppies are definitely a hot take. Everybody comes back every year looking for those those for the kids.
All right. Thanks so much, Jaden. We're down here at Memory Fireworks till 3:30 this afternoon. Come on down, say hi. Paulie Lights broadcasting live from Memory Fireworks in South Fargo, just off of exit 60 in the Frontier exit. Come on down, and we'll see you out here. Back to you guys.
'79. This is KFGO News. Fargo police are looking for a high-risk sex offender who left a residential treatment center. A warrant has been issued for 36-year-old Ethan Bendixson. He left a Center Incorporated halfway house in Fargo. He was convicted in October of 2016 for abusive sexual contact with a minor. A Tennessee man has been arrested in Bismarck on a charge that he killed a man at a Memphis motel earlier this year. 24-year-old Michael Tillman was indicted on a first-degree murder charge after his arrest and later released. Tillman is accused of shooting a 28-year-old man on April 18th. Memphis police say Tillman shot the man multiple times. Details of his arrest in Bismarck have not been released. Among the controversial decisions issued recently by the U.S. Supreme Court, one that did not get much attention was Oklahoma versus Castro Huarte, which ruled the state could prosecute non-native people who commit crimes against native victims on tribal land.
Native rights advocacy groups and a former U.S. attorney say the ruling is one of grave concern. Nicole Donaghy is the director of North Dakota Native Vote. She says the decision undermines centuries of legal precedent and will lead to the erosion of tribal sovereignty in other areas, such as environmental regulation and child welfare. She said the epidemic of murdered and missing Indigenous people is likely to get worse thanks to the ruling.
What's going to happen to our women, our children, our men that go missing? If perpetrators come to our tribal territories, the state's not going to carry on any kind of investigation, which we have seen in the past. And so we need to have full autonomy. We need to be able to enforce our Constitution and our tribal codes.
Former U.S. Attorney for the North Dakota District, Tim Purdon, agreed. He says the decision has profound ramifications for North Dakota's tribes.
Now, instead of the feds being the only people who can prosecute these cases, now the state and or the feds can prosecute. The problem here is unsafe communities because there's this maze of jurisdiction, this jurisdictional thicket that makes delivering law enforcement services more complicated.
Purdon says horrific crimes are going to go uninvestigated and unprosecuted as a result of the 5-4 ruling. Tasha Carvel, News Radio, KFGO.
KFGO Weather Center forecast near 80 for our high this afternoon. We are at 79 at our KFGO studios in South Fargo. 52, partly cloudy overnight. About 81 tomorrow, a mostly sunny day. Rain chances overnight tomorrow night. Showers, thunderstorms possible, 59. Also for Sunday, possible showers, thunderstorms, partly sunny otherwise, and 82. The fourth Monday, partly sunny near 82 with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. And then we'll also have rain chances Tuesday, partly sunny, slight chance of showers, possible thunderstorms, 80. Again, 79 degrees. Paul Jerkins, News Radio, KFGO.
All right, now picture this. I painted the picture last hour for you that when we were playing Born in the USA, that Rusty Halverson with his mullet that was permed was flipping burgers on the grill for 4th of July, and you're listening to Bruce Springsteen. Now, it's a year from now, and that perm is glistening in that hot July sun.
Oh.
And now the dinner plate's away. The watermelon's been consumed.
I'm shaking my mane.
Yeah. You've got the beach towel out. And this song's on. You're just relaxing into the evening, waiting for the fireworks display to Cat Stevens, who you've now idolized, and this is playing. That sounds quite relaxing. Can I ask why Cat Stevens? Why you're wanting the Cat Stevens hair? Is it this song? Or is it because he's a...
Well... You know, Tyler, it is a wild world out there.
It is, there's no argument here.
You know, don't leave me, baby.
Okay, say no more. I get it. I'm sold. I can't wait.
Okay.
I'll be cheering you on this whole time.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I have your support because I'm going to look pretty doggone shaggy if I'm going to do that look.
You remember when we didn't have to worry about that because it was radio, and now we've got cameras on us
at
old times during the show?
Oh, wait, what?
I don't know if yours is on.
Just slight technical difficulty, so just Tyler's on camera right now.
That's good. Okay.
I'm talking
and
to
I
this
came in
side.
early enough for people to see him singing along to Cat Stevens. So that's
Did you? I got that because I turned my mic on and I almost started singing. I'm like, ooh, that would have been bad. Shut the mic off.
No. That's all right.
More of a baritone.
I'm grieving, baby.
We're going to talk about hops this hour.
Yeah, hops, craft brewing. I mean, that's something that you and Eric know much more than I do about, obviously. But
I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, USDA releasing its planted acreage report yesterday, and there are some changes to the hops production forecast. Hops production has been seeing a pretty big increase over the last couple of decades due to the craft brewing industry. This is Lance Honig with USDA. Now, since 2012, Tyler, 10 years ago, U.S. hop acreage has increased 109%, according to USDA.
You know, on Monday when I was out at Bismarck for the show, and my friends over at the Laughing Sun allowed me to set up shop, we talked about that. It was about 10 years ago. I was in the state senate out here, and that was when they first kind of formed their guild, saying, look, we got to band together to figure this out.
Sure.
And he talked about over the last 10 years how many new breweries there are.
Yeah.
Well, need the hops to make that work.
Well, yeah, and the breweries, and when it comes to breweries, and not only that, but wineries, it's almost like a family. They work not so much together, but they communicate, they talk, and try and make the industry work because a rising tide floats all boats.
It's perhaps the most friendly competition.
Yeah.
As far as business goes out there, is those breweries and, like you say, the wineries, the distilleries. It's like, we all compete, but we all kind of know what it's like, so we kind of get each other's backs as well.
Yeah, they're all good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you go out and enjoy your 4th of July now. I'm not going to stand in your way from getting out of this building.
Yep. I've got a couple of things to do. Grow my hair,
Just patience on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Very good, Rusty. You have a safe travel as well. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Okay. Sounds good.
Rusty Alverson, Sarah Heinrich. If you can't wait until Tuesday, you can go to kfgo.com. Just click on that agriculture tab to learn a little bit more. I'd ask what's going on the grill, what's in your cooler. Ribeyes on the grill and cans of Jameson Ginger Ale with a lime in the cooler. I have not had the Jameson Ginger Ale, period, but with a lime, count me in. That sounds quite refreshing. We'll talk more about those. If you're not going anywhere, downtown Fargo-Moorhead, they're going to have some activities. Erica Rapp from FargoUnderground.com will share that right after this here on KFGO. Every week at this time, we jet on down to downtown Fargo-Moorhead, visit with Erica Rapp from FargoUnderground.com. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I have a weird question. I'm going to ask Eric this later on as well. In fact, I'll pull you in right now. We're talking about 4th of July.
Yeah.
You got your celebrations, but, at Coney Island, they've got the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest, so 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes. How many hot dogs do you think you can eat in 10 minutes?
Oh, my God. I don't know.
I'm single digits for sure for me. I'm like maybe 6, and I'm going to feel terrible.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I would go over 5.
Okay. 5,
Only because
6.
I'd probably panic about trying to eat a lot, and then I would probably make myself sick.
Yeah, I don't care how much water there is. Dunking it in it, no, that's not helping me at all.
Oh, that's also not the texture thing. No way.
Yeah.
I'm right there with Erica. To do the way to eat them in any amount the way that the competitive eaters do, no thanks.
76. That's
No.
Chestnuts broke his own record, 76. He's competing again this year. They say he's going to break his record probably.
Oh, gross.
76 hot dogs, 10 minutes.
Can you imagine how you'd feel like the next 2 days after that?
No.
Or what your life would be like?
No. Why did this become a thing? Do we even know?
I don't know. Food eating contests are
In general.
quite popular, actually.
Yeah.
They do it at the Red River Valley Fair every year still.
I know, because
I think we got an email
there's a
to see if
celebrity
we-
one.
Yeah, I
Like,
used
hey,
to-
you guys want? I'm like, well, one, not a celebrity. Two, absolutely not.
Yeah, I think I got asked to do it one year, and I liked the idea of it for maybe like 5 minutes, and then I got scared.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
I
there
don't
are
think I can do
things
that.
I would be
don't want
willing
people
to do.
Watch me do it.
Yeah,
either.
no kidding. It's just, I get grossed out watching other people do it. I don't
Yeah.
want people to watch me do it, knowing how grossed out I'm.
Yeah. I don't think there's any food. I mean, there's a lot of food that I really, really like, but I don't think there's any food I like enough to be able to like speed eat it.
Yeah, correct. I want to enjoy it, take
Yes,
my time,
exactly.
savor it, wash it down with something.
Exactly.
Not already have it washed down because I need to make room for more by dunking it in water. Now,
Yes.
Nathan's hot dogs are pretty dang good, though. I will say
are
that.
good.
The brand itself,
Yes,
that's
delicious.
quality. Okay.
They're the elite hot dog.
Ooh, now
one
that,
of the elite hot dogs.
Okay, if you're going to
One of.
qualify with one of, I'll allow one of.
Yeah, it's up there though.
Yeah, it's not the best. I'm trying to think. I think it's just the old fashioned. It's got a red label on, and they're like the old fashioned. I think that's the name, isn't it? Somebody help me out. 35270. You know which one I'm talking about? It's like the old casings.
Yeah, I can't think.
I
of
can't
them
think.
either.
Somebody else.
Not
knows.
Oscar Mayer either.
No.
It's not that.
No offense to all the people with a palate of 10-year-olds out there, as I look at my producer not making eye contact with me. What's going on in downtown Fargo this weekend?
There seemed like there was a hot take there. Anyway.
He's got a 10-year-old's palate. Oscar Mayer wiener
That's
hot dogs
offensive to 10-year-olds.
and pepperoni pizza. Nothing but.
Well, slightly more than that, but
okay,
not a lot.
What's going on in downtown Fargo?
Well, today is 701 Day because it's July 1st.
Yeah, July's the 7th month.
And
I like that pause, like you were going to wait for me to try to catch up with what that meant.
It's something that like every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, we have that here because our zip code is 701. I forgot.
So you needed to have your own mind collected
Yeah.
and caught up to what you said.
I just don't think about it as like a holiday, I guess, or anything like that. But anyway, there's going to be a 701 Day celebration tonight at Broadway Square from 5 to 7 p.m. There's going to be trivia, live music, interactive art, and some giveaways. You can go celebrate the great old state of North Dakota. Tonight, there's also going to be Zumba on tap at Fargo Brewing Company starting at 5:30. They do this once a month, so if you miss it this month, you can always go next month. You'll do an hour of Zumba. It's for all levels of experience, and it's only $15, and you'll get a beer, seltzer, whatever you choose, for free at the end.
For free. That's after you do all the stretching and whatever yoga entails. Or Zumba, pardon me.
Yeah,
Zumba, not yoga.
We do talk about yoga on tap, though. That
Okay,
one would
that's
be a
why
little
I
bit more
confused
chill.
the two.
Yeah, because there's Zumba on tap and yoga on tap, and I feel like there's a couple other things on tap that I might be forgetting right now.
Why do I not recall off the top of my head what Zumba is now?
I would say the best way for me to describe Zumba is kind of like jazzercising.
Oh, okay.
Like dance exercise.
Yeah. Get your fanny packs ready. You can go on out and get the tights on.
Yeah, Tyler, go get your tights.
Yeah.
Go. All you have to do is bring your own workout clothes and water bottle. So it's pretty easy. Again, that's Zumba on tap, Fargo Brewing Company at 5:30. Mixed Theory, a Fargo rock cover band, is going to be playing at Dempsey's tonight, starting at 10 o'clock. Going into tomorrow, there's going to be the Summer Chalk Fest. This is the first Saturday of every month. So again, if you miss it, catch the next one. It's noon at Broadway Square. There's going to be chalk artists and actually people of all ages that are just going to be creating stuff with chalk. There's going to be people doing demonstrations. There's going to, again, instructors. And it's free and open to the public.
It must have been a month ago then, because every time I hear about the Chalk Fest, I think about when you came in here and said, yeah, they're going to provide the chalk and the concrete for Summer Chalk Fest.
You don't have to bring your own concrete.
Yeah, no,
for this one.
you don't have to go to Menards and get your old slab. They got a
Yeah.
fresh sidewalk for you downtown.
Well, it's funny because the description on the event says it's provided along with chalk, cement, and art instructors.
So you were just reading. But
Yeah, I'm reading.
Will be with me forever now, so thanks for that.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that was because that's actually pretty funny. That I probably didn't notice that.
Provide your sidewalk, too.
All weekend, though, there's a couple things going on. There's going to be Nerd Dependence Day weekend at Paradox Comics. They've got a couple sales going on. Starting today and we'll be going through to 8 p.m. on July 4th. There's going to be Dungeons & Dragons discounts. There's Magic the Gathering games and tournaments and discounts. And then there's going to be Pokemon Go releases, Blockbuster new releases, and a whole bunch of deals.
Yeah.
It's going to be sweet.
A whole bunch of things for the nerds, and I'm only saying that because they called it Nerd Dependence Day, okay?
Yes, but it's okay to be a nerd.
Trust me.
If you have never been into Paradox Comics downtown too, it's more than just like a comic. It's grown so much in the last couple of years. It's a comic book store, but there's also a huge like board games
for sure, yeah.
and aspect to it too.
No, a lot of my friends and family go down there to buy, not just comic books, but that as well.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a rooftop barbecue party starting today, going through 11 p.m. on Sunday at 701 Eateries. This is a heads up also that if you plan to go out to eat there this weekend, that the Prairie Kitchen will be closed, but they're going to be barbecuing and grilling up on the rooftop all weekend. So
it's going to be a nice weekend for it as well.
Yeah. Some of the menu items include a pulled pork eggs Benedict, all-American hot dogs. I have no idea if they are Nathan's or not, but it really should be.
Nobody's told me. It's the old-fashioned wieners, I think, is what it is. But what's the brand name? I think it starts with an A. It's a red label.
Yeah.
35270. I'm not going to rest until I get the answer.
Yeah, I'm the same. Someone's going to have to call
Ambassador. They're ambassador dogs. That's what it is. See, I said it started with an A.
Yeah, okay.
So slow walk my mind there. Anyway, back to 701 Eateries with their all-American hot dog.
Yeah. It's an all-American hot dog, and then they've also got smash burgers. So if you're in town and you're chilling, and if you also have never been to the 701 rooftop, it's super legit. They've got fire pits, a bunch of yard games, and it's a really, really nice area.
Erica, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good 4th of July.
You too.
Be safe and smart, whatever you got going on.
For sure.
KFGO weather around the corner. That segment brought to you by the Boiler Room. They're located in downtown Fargo. I got $25 in a gift card for caller number 7. It is 701 day, so caller number 7 at 237-5948. This $25 is yours. Get Schmansky's forecast. We'll wrap up the second hour of Afternoons Live right after this. About 4 minutes until the top of the hour at 4 o'clock, meaning for many of you, 1 hour left until you can punch out for that long weekend. Jealous of those of you that either had half the day off or the entire day off, but I'm glad you keep it locked into KFGO and bring us with you. Whether that's on 790 AM, 104.7, or worldwide, KFGO.com and our mobile app. Yes, Ambassador Dogs, I appreciate that. Tyler, old-fashioned wieners are hot garbage. I said it, brats only. You have to have the variety. Now, if you said you had to pick one, a hot dog or a brat, I'm going brat 95% of the time. Don't get me wrong. But every now and then, an old-fashioned ambassador hits the spot. And that's the way to go. You have the ambassador, Nathan's, rank them for me. You got to throw some Cloverdale, I suppose, in there. Tell me which brand of hot dog you're throwing on the grill. It's the 4th of July weekend. When we come back, we're going to talk about the outdoor activities you can be doing, especially if you're out on a body of water. Scott Brewer, part of Gone Outdoors, he joins us next year on KFGO. Don't go anywhere. Couple hours closer to having our couple of days off here on Afternoons Live. Final hour for the week getting underway here. We'll check back in with Paul Jurgens in the KFGO News Center, get you all the latest there. When we come back, we're going to be visiting with Scott Brewer, part of that Gone Outdoors program that you can catch here every Saturday on KFGO. But you know what? He's going to give you some reminders. I saw a Facebook post he had. He's getting ready to get back out on the road with his boat. And he had a couple of things that, you know what, we have to hear. As far as patience, safety, we'll ask him what he's up to this weekend and give you some tips as well if you got any outdoor activities. Then we got a triple play. Yeah, we're bringing that back here on a Friday afternoon. Afternoons Live is rolling on here on KFGO.
KFGO News, sunny, now 80 degrees. I'm Paul Jurgens. The number of abortions in Minnesota fell about 2% last year. However, they're likely to rise sharply now that the Supreme Court's reversal of the Roe precedent has made the state an island of legal abortion in the upper Midwest. The State Health Department's annual report shows that about 90% of women receiving abortions in the state were Minnesotans last year. Of nearby states, Wisconsin had by far the most women crossing state lines to get an abortion in Minnesota, with about 6% of the total. The Minnesota Board of Animal Health is ending a temporary poultry exhibition ban. The board first enacted the ban in April. The ban included all poultry exchanges, fairs, exhibitions, and other events where live poultry and susceptible birds were brought together. Dr. Dale Lauer with the University of Minnesota Poultry Testing Lab says the lifting of the ban is a plus for kids who are ready to show off their turkeys, chickens, ducks, and geese at fairs and other events. It has been more than a month since the last case of bird flu was detected in a commercial or backyard poultry flock in Minnesota. A survey of supply managers in North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota shows many believe the region, the nation, could slip into a recession in the next few months. In Omaha, Creighton University economist Ernie Goss publishes the Mid-America Index. He says overall, the June index indicates a moderately growing economy, but he says North Dakota's levels will slip below growth-neutral levels.
Particularly in North Dakota, you've got two sectors, the ag sector and the manufacturing sector, although both have been growing at a pretty good pace, with the value of the dollar increasing dramatically. That's making the goods from North Dakota and the U.S., for that matter, less competitively priced abroad.
South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has applied for a permit to hold a fireworks show at Mount Rushmore to celebrate Independence Day next year. The National Park Service has denied her permit applications for the past 2 years, citing environmental concerns and objections from Native American tribes. In 2020, a fireworks display featuring a fiery speech from former President Donald Trump was held at the monument, the first in about 10 years. A federal judge last year rejected the governor's lawsuit that sought to force the Park Service to allow fireworks at the monument. Noem has appealed that decision. 80 our forecast high this afternoon, Fargo-Moorhead, and we are now at 80 degrees at our KFGO studios. 52, partly cloudy overnight. A mostly sunny day tomorrow, 81. Partly cloudy, possible showers, thunderstorms overnight tomorrow night into Sunday morning. 59, just a slight chance of rain, showers, thunderstorms, then Sunday, 82. Monday, partly sunny, another slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, again near 82. And rain possibilities Tuesday, partly sunny, slight chance of showers and storms, 80. Again, 80 degrees. Paul Jurgens, News Radio, KFGO.
You heard it. All I have to do is text in to 35270 like this listener did for some Glen Fry. The heat is on. You heard from Tom Schmansky how much heat there's going to be over the weekend. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of outdoor activities going on for a lot of you. And you know who's really good at the outdoors? Scott Brewer. Him and Kyle Eggery have gone outdoors, and he joins us right now. Scott, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, and just listening to your intro there with Rock Request Friday, I would like to throw one out there for Brewer Agri Outdoors for both of us. Hot for Teacher by Van Halen, because both Kyle and I are married to educators. So it's pretty fitting.
Okay, very good. I was waiting. I was like, okay, wait a minute. I want to hear the conclusion of this story. Eric acknowledged it. You got it coming up. That's going to be how we end our conversation. I did not know that about you two. Very good.
Yep.
Well, tell them thanks for what they do from all of us here on Afternoons Live. I appreciate
I will do that.
Being a teacher is not easy these days. Well, it never was, but certainly these days, a lot of people talking about that profession more. One thing that got me thinking, I saw your post on Facebook, good reminders, a couple of things. I wanted to start there because, we got a lot of people that are either already on the road or they're planning to. They're going to be going to parades or perhaps going out fishing or just going out on a pontoon to enjoy Lakes Country. And your reminders, I want you to share those with the KFGO listening audience.
Yeah, one, I'll start with the last one first, and that's, clean, drain, and dry your boat every time you take it to a new lake. There's so many different invasive species out there now, and I know a lot of guys are very, very good at it. Some are pretty good at it. If they're at a lake where there's known zebra mussels in it, they'll make sure they clean it. But if a lake, I don't know how many times I've heard somebody say, well, this lake doesn't have zebra mussels, so it's not that big a deal.
Right.
Well, they don't know that there's not zebra mussels in it. They're just, maybe the DNR hasn't found them yet. So, we need to make sure we do that all the time. And right now there's a lot of people that are taking their boats from lake to lake to lake, go visit the grandparents here, then go over to a buddy's cabin, and go here or there. It's good to make sure that they follow those rules. But, probably the most important one, I think, is be safe when you're out there on the water. There's a lot of boaters that aren't maybe following all the safety precautions that they should, because they're not on the water a lot. And there's going to be a lot of kids in the water, a lot of people out swimming, a lot of people out tubing. So even us very experienced anglers, we need to make darn sure that we're keeping an eye out where we're going all the time. Don't go running up too close to shore. And those kind of things. It's just a lot of common sense.
Yeah. But you know what, Scott, it seems like we always need those reminders. It never hurts to remind people of these. Common sense does go a long ways, but you're absolutely right there.
Yeah, and then the other one is that boat accesses are going to be very, very busy this weekend. And there's going to be some people that this might be the only time all year that they use their boat. And they're not going to be as experienced at it as other people. And if nothing else, A, we need to be patient with everybody else, but B, it's a great time to go help somebody. If somebody's struggling, go help them out. You might teach them something, and then they'll be a little quicker next time. It's a great educational opportunity for everybody, but just be patient with everybody this weekend, and everybody will get out and have a good time.
Yeah, that one, I remember the first time I had to trailer my camper and back that into a campsite, and there's nothing worse when you have other people waiting for you, and how that kind of gets you feel like you have to be in a rush. Patience goes a long ways. And then you know what, if you can go over there and give some advice too in a friendly manner, that's going to go a long way, and that might actually make somebody's day. Because I have no doubt the same would be going for somebody that's trying to, get their boat, off their trailer in that busy port. They're trying to go as fast as they can too, because they know everyone's trying to get out in the limited daylight we have to enjoy it. So patience and being mindful. Great reminder there, Scott.
But the point is, hopefully everybody gets out. Hopefully everybody can get out, enjoy it. Everybody works very, very hard, and you need some time off, and wait around for holidays like this to come around, and the weather's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be perfect weather for this. I just hope people can get out and relax and forget some of their daily problems that they're experiencing, spend some time with family, go out and do something that they enjoy, whether it's golfing, God forbid golfing, or fishing. I shouldn't say that, because there is a chance I might go golfing this weekend. But, whatever it is you like to do, get out and do it this weekend and enjoy it.
Yeah, take advantage of it. You're going to have, for many people, an extended weekend to get that extra day off, like you say. And been a couple of weeks here. I think we all could just use a break, peace of mind for a weekend. Hopefully this does get you there. Scott, usually on Saturdays, you and Kyle Avery have gone outdoors. I do not know. I know it's a holiday weekend. So do I ask, do you guys have a show tomorrow, or are you going to make us keep waiting until next Saturday?
We do. We actually have a show all year long, every week. We never take a week off, which is kind of fun. We enjoy talking the outdoors. We enjoy sharing stuff, so it works out well. Tomorrow we're going to chat with Tom Wynn. Tom is probably the hottest young walleye guy on the walleye tour that fishes professional tournaments, and he fishes some local stuff too. He is very, very good. He's formerly a professional bass angler. He dabbled in that for a little bit, and he draws his walleye experience from the bass world. So he does things that's quite a bit different than a lot of guys, and he's really opening a lot of eyes as to how to catch big walleyes. So we'll get a couple secrets out of him.
Scott, I got to stop you before you move on. Did you say his name is Tom Wynn?
Tom Wynn,
okay.
Huyhn.
Okay, my mind went somewhere else when you said Tom Wynn for a moment there.
Yeah.
Tom Wynn and friends. Boy, I haven't heard that in a long time. But okay, that brought back some memories there. So okay, Tom Wynn.
And speaking on unorthodox a little bit, his day job is he owns a couple of nail salons in Fargo. He paints nails for a living. And then he goes out and takes everybody's money in tournaments for his hobby. So
well, he's got something figured out then.
He certainly does. John Doctor, who's the coach of one of our local high school angling teams. So we're going to chat with John a little bit about the Lake Region area, Lake Agassiz Region High School League. And because they are in the middle of their season, getting all these kids out on the water, which is really cool. They actually just had one event here on Tuesday. Lots and lots of high school kids out, lots and lots of volunteer boat captains getting them out. It's a great program. So we'll talk to John about that. And then we'll head out to the Duluth area and chat with a buddy of ours, Captain Jared Houston, and find out what the bite is like out there, both lake trout, salmon, and the inland fishery. There's a really good inland fishery. When you think Duluth, you think Superior, but there's some really good inland waters there too. So we'll chat with him a little bit.
A jam-packed Saturday morning of Gone Outdoors is what I just heard. So you can take that with you wherever you have KFGO. Scott, I appreciate you taking time, and I hope you have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July with the family and friends out there as well, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Mother Nature is going to be kind to us. That's really kind of a big thing. Everything else is within our power to enjoy ourselves, and I really hope to. So, and the same to you.
Well, I appreciate that, my friend. You take care. We'll chat again soon, all right?
All right, man. You too.
All right. Scott Brewer, him and Kyle Agger every Saturday morning. Gone Outdoors right here on KFGO, and as he said, his request, a little Van Halen, Hot for Teacher. We'll let this one play on out a little bit here on KFGO. It's Friday afternoon. We got a little bit of time left before we hand you over to Jack Sunday. He's got the drive time news. In the meantime, Van Halen. This is Afternoons Live. Stick around. Now, the last time I did Name That Beer, I unknowingly had a Miller Lite commercial in which the song was basically a total ripoff of the Oak Ridge Boys. I was in that moment live on radio in which my producer, Eric Johnson, would say, oh, yeah, I like the Oak Ridge Boys theme they did there. I'm like, huh? What? And then I knew. Many of you probably already knew, but not me. Now I know. And now I'm going to think about that every time I hear that song. 35270, you send them in, we'll play them. Somebody says, God bless America. I don't know if that's your song request or if you're just wanting us to say, God bless America. I figured out what the other one, it was what I talked about, being forced behind Rick Berg's U.S. Senate campaign in the float, where he played the same three songs.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA was the other one that kept coming up. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's not like there's a shortage of America songs that you could mix into the playlist.
Dove a little bit deeper campaign staff and said, you know what? Let's include a variety here. No, in a parade, you're seeing a variety of different people. I mean, you're not stuck unless you're in the same parade and you are literally the float behind them, in which we did not have the float. We just had walkers. Traumatized still to this day. It was the West Fest parade. West Fargo. Now, I'm trying to think. That had to have been 2012. Yes, because he was running for the U.S. Senate then, because it was the second time that I went to West Fest, which I also had tickets to NDSU at Iowa.
Oh, and you missed.
No, because you know what? And I blame Ed Schaefer for this. So, Ed, if you're listening, it's your fault. For whatever reason in our minds here in North Dakota politics, you have got to be in every single parade in the area to win elections, right? You got to be in the parades. And nobody was in more parades when they were running for office than, I think, Ed Schaefer, probably followed by Earl Pomeroy, who also had a high staple on how many parades he had to be in every year. So when you're running for office, and you know people who are running for office, so just keep this in mind when this parade season gets underway, which it already is, that you're going to be enticed to be in all of them. I can tell you from experience, just because you're in all those parades does not entail you winning that election.
I don't think there's a lot of District 41 parades. So.
No, probably the NDSU homecoming.
Yeah, that's the one that. This will be my first homecoming where I wasn't employed at the
college bar, for at least that's what it was when I was in college.
So I don't know what
I'm still upset that I never got my Chubb's Pub degree.
I can probably arrange that.
I mean.
For you.
I can at least get my associates from how many
I believe
dollars
one of our other
there.
coworkers has one.
Oh, yeah, she does, doesn't she? It's probably in a frame in her office, too. But I went into that West Fest parade the second year, missed that Iowa game. My friends have not let me down because not only did I miss that game, it was not reelected that election cycle. So thanks for nothing. 35270, a number of messages coming in. Some good songs coming in. Some Rock Me Gently. I think we still have some time in the next half hour to get those in. Tyler Colin Peterson has the record for most parades in 30-plus years for the 7th District. Plus, he had a band he played in, different songs, too. Now, that is eye-popping to me. If you're going to go in a parade and you can play in your own band, I mean, you have to have your own flatbed trailer. I talk about having the thing parked on Main Drag for all these street dances, right? Which I hope, and I've got some thoughts on this of, I hope that the 4th of July celebrations in those small rural areas still have them like they used to. Because I remember going to York, North Dakota. That was the place. The band, the place was packed. I mean, there was nothing really around York except for houses. And you got the Senex of their Farmers Union. That's there at the time. But you had all the fireworks. I think that were, bought by, I don't remember if it was the fire departments, but I mean, people just went there from miles around. Are they still doing that? I mean, not necessarily in York, but in your small town, are you still having the 4th of July celebrations like you used to 30, 40 years ago? Let me know at 35270. When we come back after KFGO News, I tell you what we're going to do. Dust off and try to get the rust off of the triple play. We haven't done that in like 2 years. We'll see if we still got it. I'm Tyler Axis. He's Eric Johnson. He's our producer. I'm your host, and this is After He's Live on 790 AM, 94.1, and 104.7 FM, KFGO.
Say hello to Webflow, the world's most powerful all-in-one design platform. Experience
Came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now. Jam the captaincy.
News and weather this hour brought to you by Ottertail Power Company, positively impacting communities they serve for more than a century.
Fargo-Moorhead, sunny 79. I'm Paul Jerkins. The number of abortions in Minnesota fell about 2% last year. However, they're likely to rise sharply now that the Supreme Court's reversal of the law has made the state an island of legal abortion in the upper Midwest. The State Health Department's annual report shows that about 90% of women receiving abortions in the state were Minnesotans in 2021. Of nearby states, Wisconsin had by far the most women crossing state lines to get an abortion in Minnesota, with about 6% of the total. Among the decisions issued recently by the U.S. Supreme Court came from Oklahoma, a case there. The court ruled the state could prosecute non-Native people who commit crimes against Native victims on tribal land. But Native rights advocacy groups say the ruling is not good. The director of North Dakota's Native Vote says the decision undermines centuries of legal precedent and could lead to erosion of tribal sovereignty in other areas such as environmental regulation and child welfare. She says the epidemic of murdered and missing indigenous people is also likely to get worse. Former North Dakota U.S. Attorney Tim Purdon agrees. He says the decision has broad ramifications for North Dakota tribes.
Now, instead of the feds being the only people who can prosecute these cases, now the state and or the feds can prosecute. The problem here is unsafe communities because there's this maze of jurisdiction, this jurisdictional thicket that makes delivering law enforcement services more complicated.
Purdon says important cases will go uninvestigated and unprosecuted as a result of that 5-4 ruling. 79. This is KFGO News. .79. It is sunny. This is KFGO News. Fargo police are looking for a high-risk sex offender who left a residential treatment center. A warrant has been issued for 36-year-old Ethan Bendixson. He left a Center Incorporated halfway house in Fargo. Bendixson was convicted in October 2016 for abusive sexual contact with a minor. The Minnesota Board of Animal Health is ending a temporary poultry exhibition ban. The board first enacted the ban in April. The ban included all poultry exchanges, fairs, exhibitions, and other events where live poultry and susceptible birds were brought together. It has been more than a month since the last case of bird flu was detected in a commercial or backyard poultry flock in Minnesota. Expecting significant police presence on roads around Minnesota, stepped up speed enforcement runs through the end of the month.
Speed continues to be the leading cause of fatalities on Minnesota roads, and so we are working not only with our partners at the State Patrol, but with nearly 300 law enforcement agencies across the state to really place an emphasis on the importance of obeying that speed limit and driving according to the condition.
Mike Hansen with the Office of Traffic Safety says last year, at least 166 people died in speed-related crashes, the most since 2003. Energy companies bid more than $22 million to secure drilling rights on public lands in the western U.S. during the first onshore oil and natural gas lease sales since President Biden took office. Nearly a third of total bids were on leases in North Dakota. Producers paid over $7 million for 15 pieces of land in McKenzie, Williams, and Montreal counties. Senator Kramer says the lease sale demonstrates the attractiveness of the Bakken, as well as the dire need for domestic oil and gas production. Fargo-Moorhead, a partly cloudy night, 52 for the overnight low. We hit 80 at our KFGO studios a short time ago. We'll be near 81 for a high tomorrow, mostly sunny. Tomorrow night, then, 59, partly cloudy. Possible overnight showers and thunderstorms that could extend into Sunday, partly sunny. Just a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms, 82. Also near 82 for the 4th, partly sunny, slight chance of showers and thunderstorms. 80 Tuesday, partly sunny, and another chance of showers and thunderstorms. Again, 79. Paul Jurgens, News Radio, KFGO.
He was a famous trumpet man from Chicago way. He had a boogie style no one else could play. He was a top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his uncle Sam. He really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The cat seemed to understand. Because the next day the cat went out and drafted a band, and now the country jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Great stuff today. I appreciate that every Friday.
A toot blows it into the fire. The boogie rhythm, you can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing rhythm. He makes a company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was
just within this last 2 hours. He'll break some of that down. Then we got Twins baseball back in action tonight. 6:30 pregame. Chris Adler in the studio hosting your Minnesota Twins. We'll take a buzzer
And when he plays, he makes the company jump to the bar. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
CBS National News on the way. When we come back, we got an old bit
to the
that you're playing with. So that one it takes some time to
blow a note, tip the bass and guitars and with and the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie woogie bugle boy of Company B.
All right. Sometimes I get challenged in the text club. Often about my views on world events. Other times it's just about my job in general. Tyler, you would play anything? Dr. Dre, nothing but a G thing. And I say, don't tempt me with a good time. Now I'm going to say this counts because we're playing this, and now we're going to... There's a lot of people angry that we're playing this. Probably our management as well. And that's why we're going to dial it down right there, because we both enjoy our jobs and we don't want to go out. Albeit, if you were to get fired, would it be advantageous to do it before or after the long? It'd be after the long weekend. So if we're going to get fired, it better be next Friday, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Or Friday after next. Not this one, because we want that sweet holiday off. This is something that we have not done in a very long time. It's a bit that I used to do a long, long time ago. We call it the triple play, and we'll see if we still got it.
That's a long intro.
This is. What were we thinking back then? Okay, that is dated. We gotta that. If you needed a reminder as to how long it's been since we've done this bit, just listen to some of those names you heard. Okay, so somebody's not happy. That's fine. That's fine. Thanks for listening anyway. We didn't play the entirety of Dr. Dre and Snoop D-O-double-G. We did just enough to not get us fired. Let's get to the first one. Could you imagine? You just heard this lovely woman on CBS National News saying, don't let inflation get in the way of your fun. Talked about gas prices, but in particular flights and how expensive they are. And good luck if you actually buy a ticket, having your plane depart at all. This plane, however, did depart, but the passenger was baffled to find that the seat number that she had purchased on her ticket didn't even exist.
What?
Daisy Barr shared the bizarre situation on her TikTok account, which, for whatever reason in this article, it shares her TikTok account. I don't care. I'm not going to her. She filmed herself getting on EasyJet aircraft. I don't even know what EasyJet is.
Yeah, that sounds like a budget.
Sounds, well, it budgeted out her seat, which was row 26. That didn't even exist. There was no row 26. She filmed herself. She was supposed to be in row 26, where seats D, E, and F should have been. Instead, it was an empty aisle. She had to stand her entire flight.
They didn't give her one of the flight attendant chairs or... I mean, I understand she can't sit in the cockpit with the pilot.
Correct.
But there's those fold-down chairs that the flight attendants use during takeoff and landing.
Well, the flight attendants also need a spot to sit.
I got to imagine there's an extra one somewhere.
I'm trying to figure out, because it didn't say the clip that was posted, I think this was last week, had been seen by 3 million people after the initial video blew up. Barr shared the following clip saying, hey, EasyJet saw our video and refunded us, which is, we ought to talk about the budget. Her ticket, $51.42 in American dollars. EasyJet stressed there's no such thing as standing room on planes, and all passengers were provided a seat. So they're saying, that's not entirely the true situation, because it's TikTok, and it's the internet. So everything you see online, of course, is nothing but true.
It does seem odd that an airline would sell a seat that didn't exist. Now, I could see it happening, but doesn't that strike you as they wouldn't let you take off standing? Are you just supposed to hold on to the chair in front of you?
Well, yeah, they sit down and be seated. But, I mean, why did they reimburse her if there was no wrong done? Just because 3 million people saw it? The social media shame that comes?
Yeah, I don't know.
Riddle me that. All right, let's move on. Got a little rust on this one, isn't there?
A little bit. We're good, though.
We're good. Well, let's go to my favorite state in the union. Still got that sounder.
I do. I haven't played that one in a long time.
It's been 3 years, I do believe. Florida, well, not everything goes in Florida, because in Florida there's a new law that makes blasting music in a car punishable by an offense.
So you and I would both be guilty of that when we were about 18?
So when I would be playing Dr. Dre, nothing but a G thing, and my 2-door red Dodge Avenger.
Did you ever shake your rearview mirror off the windshield? with your bass, with your subs?
No,
I didn't either, but I
drove
had a
Dodge.
I had a buddy who did.
American made.
We were driving along, and the rearview mirror fell down while the bass was hitting.
I'm
going to
guess this was an Oldsmobile.
Nope, Grand Am.
Oh, of course, everybody had a Grand Am or a Bonneville.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the two universally owned cars back in the day. Streets across the state of Florida are set to get much quieter on Friday, meaning today, when a new law goes into effect. Beginning July 1st, today, drivers can receive a fine of up to $114 for blasting music in their cars. New law allows for officers to ticket those playing music audible from a minimum of 25 feet distance.
Okay.
So if I can hear your song,
mm-hmm.
your Conway Twitty, or Miley Cyrus, I don't know what you listen to these days.
Neither of those would probably be on the list, but I'd enjoy both of them if they were on the radio.
Your My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting closer.
So if you're playing My Chemical Romance, I better not hear it 25 feet away or else you're going to get a ticket. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Let the kids be kids.
I know. This is all those retirement communities that's complaining. Yep. That's what it is. Those kids, this is a neighborhood. Slow down.
That's the advantage of where you and I grew up. We could find a gravel road where there wasn't anybody for 2,500 feet, let alone 25 feet.
Guaranteed they did hear us coming, though, because we did have the windows down and the volume up. And you had the subwoofers, you had the amp, and all that got hot in the back seat. And especially if you had a two-door Grand Am, because those back seats, they folded down.
Yep.
And we took advantage of those folded down seats for many things, but certainly the heating of amps was not one of them. Anyway, could you imagine $114 just from listening to Cher very loud?
Believe.
You're listening to George Michael cranked on volume 11. You're getting a ticket in the mail from the Florida police.
It does feel like an old person bill pushed through.
Yeah.
Like, I can't handle these kids listening to loud music that I don't understand.
Damn kids having too much fun. Let's move on. This one. There's a very important detail missing in this story for me, which really has me wondering. And I'll ask all of you what you think. A man was arrested Monday. I don't know why I always find stupid criminals to be a part of this, but a man was arrested on Monday after attempting to shoplift 11 cases of beer from a Safeway. This is in Seattle. 11 cases of beer. At about 9:38 a.m. on June 27th, officers responded to a report of a man walking into a Safeway with his own cart.
Okay.
Where does one find one own cart?
I think you steal it from another business that has carts.
Fair. That seems actually like a simple way of just showing up their own cart. The incident report did not specify which Safeway, which I assume this is like a general store. This is probably like a Casey's or a Senex.
Or maybe a regional grocery store.
Sure. According to the report, the man loaded 11 cases of beer onto his cart and attempted to leave the store. Security guard confronted the man, but the man told the guard if he didn't get by, he'd get pepper sprayed. Security guard backed off. Man left the store without paying for the beer. Officers arrived. They found the man across the street attempting to get on a Metro bus. The man was arrested and booked into King County Jail for robbery. Now, what was missing from that story?
What happened to the beer?
What kind of beer was this guy stealing 11 cases of?
I mean, Washington, maybe Rainier.
Rainier's okay beer. You're not doing this with Keystone, that's for dang sure.
I'm guessing he was doing it with whatever he could see.
Give me
this doesn't strike me as a really discerning beer connoisseur.
Why? Just because he's stealing the
11 cases
just
in a stolen shopping cart?
Because it's a criminal
and then
doesn't
getting
mean
onto a bus?
You still acquire a palate for one. You probably have a favorite of a brand. And here's the thing. If you're going in and you're going to commit the crime, you're going to go for the thing you want, right? You're not just going to find the cheap. You're not going to go grab Schlitz or Old Milwaukee.
You would be shocked at how many people shoplift cheap booze. I speak from personal experience.
Yeah.
The plastic bottles are always better because when they drop them when they're running away, they don't break.
Did you ever have to tackle anybody?
I didn't, but coworkers did. I had a couple.
Find it in you?
No, I didn't have anybody try the grab and go on me when I was working.
Okay,
but saw a lot of videos of that happening, and my favorite story was from before my time. They had a kid working there that ran cross country, and so somebody tried to run, and the kid just ran beside him like,
"It's the fastest kid alive. Kids are free.
We can do this as long as you want, or you could just stop and give it to me."
11 cases of beer. I'm going to say it was I'm going to go with Budweiser.
Okay.
I'm thinking it was the
that
diesel.
fits.
That fits the narrative. That was it for the triple play. I don't know. We'll try harder next week. Maybe, perhaps. We'll see. In the meantime, we'll get you caught up with KFGO news. Or no, weather. Pardon me. We'll get news after we check in with Jack Sunday. Two Thought Time Smansky will give you the latest forecasts. We'll wrap up Afternoons Live for the week right after this. Loverboy hitting these airwaves means that we made it to the end of another work week, and we'll get you there in style. Jack Sunday's the Drive Time News coming up. He's got a great guest in store for you, and he joins me in studio.
Yeah, we've got all the news you need to make that 4th of July weekend to drive home, and you won't get another one until next Tuesday, so we have our full Drive Time News Hour coming up here on the Mighty 790, and it includes the usual suspects. We'll have CBS News and Too Tall Tom Szymanski and Paul Juergens and Polly Lyons. We'll have Derek Hansen, and we also have Gil Gross at about quarter after or so. Gil Gross, he is hosting the 3-hour July 4th special from CBS News Radio, and that'll be from 2 to 5 on Monday, and I know it'll be great. He is great. Some of the topics he's going to talk about was whether Benedict Arnold was simply a traitor, or is it true that he advanced some victories during the Revolutionary War that made it possible that we would win?
Oh, it'd be interesting. You tell them thanks from us here on Afternoons Live, too, because we got CBS coverage. That means no Afternoons Live on Monday.
He also has a segment upon where was the Battle of Bunker Hill fought.
Very good. You listen. He's going to give you the preview with Jack Sunday on the Drive Time News. Folks, that's it for me. I'm Tyler Axis, your host here on Afternoons Live. You drive safe and take care of yourselves. Enjoy the 4th of July. I'll check in Tuesday right here on KFGO.